morning, buenos días, good afternoon, buenas tardes, good evening, buenas noches, whenever it is that you get to see this. My name is Miss Abby and I'm here to teach you some stuff. And this video is a tutorial on how to do APA references using Word. Now there's a little trick and I don't claim to be an expert, but I made this video for my seniors that are doing a pretty complex APA research paper, and I decided to publish it on YouTube. I hope you like it. Hey, it's me, Miss Adriana. As I promised, I am going to give you a tutorial on how to do some of the tricks to do the different references in APA style. As you can see, right now I am in Word. I know not everybody has Word, but the majority do. I am going to show you other tricks of how to do this, but first I'm going to show you how to do things in Word. So here, I click on References, and it takes me to this entire tab. And the first thing that I need to do, believe it or not, is I need to organize all of the references that I already have. Don't worry, you can edit them later. But you click on Manage Sources, and you wait for it to load. And if you can see, I have a bunch of sources that I have used for different projects that I've had to do for the university, etc. I'm gonna just copy a couple just to have more references in this thing. All right, so I have some of them ready. I'm gonna add a couple of my own right now. I am going to come up with some of them, and some of them are real. So the first one I want to include is a book or a book section. If it's a book, that means that you are using the entire book as your reference. If it's a book section, you are using a little piece or a big piece, but not the entire book. So I'm going to click on book section, and I click on show all bibliography fields, and that opens up all of this that you can see. Let me change the color. It opens up all of this that you can see. Okay, let me click done. Now I'm going to come up with some names. Remember that in APA, the last name goes first. The first name or the first initial goes first. I'm just going to use myself as a reference. I'm going to put Cuevas Conte, both of my last names, comma, a period. Then I click on the title. I'm going to come up with the title of the section that I am using. Teaching high school students interview skills. Then it says book author, and since it's the same author, what I do is that I copy and paste the same thing. Then the book title, let's say that it is called Surviving Teaching. I'm making this up as I go along, everybody. Let's say that I wrote this book in 2018. The pages that you're going to be using are pages 19 through 30. San Juan, PR. In this case, we would skip the state and province. We would skip that because Puerto Rico is basically a country, or you can put Puerto Rico where it says country. Next, I move to publisher. I'm going to put Penguin. Let me fix that. Penguin Books. The editor I can skip. And I move on to the different parts. Let's say that this type of book has multiple volumes. I'm going to say that it is volume 2 out of 5 volumes, and the chapter number is number 7. I can skip where it says short title, standard number, edition, I would put the edition that the book is, let's say 7th edition. And then I keep looking, I scroll down, and here, this is very important. I have to put the year that I accessed it, the month that I accessed it. Today is January 27. And here, if I were to find this book online, I would put the URL. Since I don't have that URL, I haven't come up with it right now, I would put the URL. And the DOI, remember that I told you that the DOI is something that comes out automatically. Some websites can actually figure out the DOI for you, so you don't have to worry. I click OK, and this already added itself to my presentation, to my references, etc. Okay, so you saw how it's going to look when you are organizing your different sources. You saw how to add something that is an actual book. Let's add a digital source so we can practice of how to add information from a website. I'm going to go to a new tab, and I'm going to go to historychannel.com. which I believe their webpage is history.com. Yes, I was right. And I'm going to look for, I don't know, any type of information that might pop up. So let's wait for that to load. Okay. So now my page loaded. I'm going to click on the little magnifying glass, and I'm going to put Inca civilization, for example. And this is going to do a little search for me on all of the different articles that they have on the Inca civilization. This is all on the different things that are going to come out. Right now, for some reason, something is wrong. It's not coming out, so I'm going to try again. All right, there we go. It just decided to pop out. So I have a bunch of things that I could research, that I could look at. I am going to pick this one, Ancient America, Maya, Incan, Aztec, and Olmec civilization, and this is going to take me to another page. I'm going to show you the way that I do it whenever I do an electronic web page or an electronic source. The first thing that I do is I copy the URL and I go back to my Word document or whatever document or thing that I'm using to create a research. Here, I'm going to look where it says document from a website. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put the URL because that is the trickiest part. Then I click show all bibliography fields. And then I'm going to start filling this out. You have to kind of like switch back and forth between the different websites in order to do this. So I have to do that right now. So the first thing I'm going to look for is the authors. I'm going to scroll down and move myself so you guys can see what I'm doing. Ooh, I scrolled down a little bit. So here I have a bunch of things that are important to me. I copy the URL once again because I copied the wrong URL, and I look for it down here. All right, I click copy paste. I go back to my page, and here I have two different dates that I have to pay attention to. I have the updated version, which is August 21st, 2018. And then I have the original, which was December 14th, 2017. The original is the one that I am going to put in my APA presentation. Let me just close that. And let me go back to this. Okay. I look for it, and it said 2017. It was December 14. And then the year that I accessed it, 2021. Today is January 27. I already have the URL, so I don't have to worry about that. I go up, and in this case, since it is a corporate author, because this is a website, I put history editors, and I leave it like that. The name of my web page is History of Chocolate. History of Chocolate. The name of the website is history.com. And in this case, since this is the affiliation of this website and this channel, I know the affiliation, I can put it, and that would be A&E Networks. It's not necessary, but you can use it. And I have all of the most important things already selected, so I'm going to click OK. And it starts organizing itself right over here. Now, what if I were to use a video in my references? Well, I'm going to show you how to use a video right now. All right, so here we have YouTube, and I am going to look for the different videos that I am interested in. This one, I'm going to pick the Kingdoms of Kush by CU History. Obviously, I click on it, and I do the same thing that I did with the website of history.com. I'm going to pause it so the noise doesn't interfere with my video. Hopefully it'll pause. There we go. And I do the same thing. I copy this. I go to my Word document and I go to New. And here it gets a little trickier because technically this is considered a film. I click on Show All Bibliography Fields and I put the URL. That way I get the URL out of the way, and then I start looking at the different information that I might need. Okay, the title of my video is The Black Pharaohs, the Kingdom of Kush. All of this, I can copy it. That way it's easier, and I make sure that I don't make any spelling mistakes. Then the performer, in this case, you would have to click on Show More to see if it gives you information on who performed it. Since we do not know who performed it, we are going to copy the channel name, which is CU in History / Mythology. CU in History / Mythology. Okay. It didn't give me information on producer, so I'm just going to use that as the producer name and the director's name. YouTube sometimes does not give us where and when, where it was done. Sometimes it does, but since this case, it doesn't give me that information, I don't know. Now, what it does give me is when this was published, which is January 12, 2021, so I'm going to put that 2021 January. Let me spell January correctly. January. Oops. Oh, doesn't give me the option, so I'll just leave the year, January. And again, I have to put the year that I accessed it, January 27, and I click OK. All right, I have all of the sources that I want to show you ready to go. I'm going to click Close. And now this is the part where a lot of people got confused. I'm going to go to Bibliography and wait for it to load. And then I'm going to click on where it says References. And that's it. Now, here in the references, it all comes out in Calibri, which is one of the fonts that we are not supposed to use for my project. So I highlight it and I go to this little thingy over here and I look for Times New Roman, and then I go to Home, and I go to this area, and I click on 2.0, which means double space. And then what I can do is that I put this in the middle, and there we go. That is how an APA reference page should look when you do it on Word. Now, the question is, how do you do it in Google Docs and using other websites? I'm going to post another video teaching you how to do this. I hope that this helped. See you later. Well, I hope that this video helped and cleared up some doubts that you might have had, and I hope that you learned something in the way. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of my social media. If you want, you will see it in the next page. I'm Miss Adri, and I hope that I taught you something today. Bye!